Hey everyone, it's me and Kyle today. I promise you, Kyle and Chris like each other. They just keep having different times that they can hang out on this thing. You know, we
do like each other.
We have normal lives and we do like each other. We're talking about a couple things today. New starting line came out last week.
Yes.
We also have not talked about the full release of the Acceptance 20-year anniversary of Phantoms. And a couple other little things that we'll talk about. So let's start with the starting line because that's been the exciting thing that we wanted to talk about for years, basically, because we were always so sad that we only got 3 albums from them. So now
18 years, right?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, 2007, right? Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. So what are your initial impressions? We're less than a week into it being out. What are your thoughts, Kyle?
I love it. They're one of my favorite bands, but they did surprise me because it is just a straightforward rock and roll record.
Yes. It is.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. It did make me kind of go, like, I wonder if, it doesn't feel like it has the dynamics that, like, their previous 2 records had before. It feels kind of like the EP that they came out, which I forget the name of the EP, but, it was only 3 songs, but yeah, this feels like it's going, full throttle the whole time.
Yes.
Like really the only place where it slows down at all, even a little bit.
Defeating the Purpose?
Yeah, and a little bit on, oh gosh, see, now I'm trying to remember what the name of the song is. Let's see, it's...
also, his bass lines are just tasty.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Enjoyment is the other one that has a little bit of like an arpeggiated guitar and stuff. We can play a little clip of that in a second if we want to. And yeah, but I mean, I like it. I think, I haven't had enough time I've listened to it several times, but what I've noticed is that obviously the most familiar songs were the ones that were already released before, which I like even more than I did when they were released as singles. So I think the thing as a whole is growing. Whereas we talked last week, you weren't on last week's, but Chris and I talked about Motion City Soundtrack's new one. And it feels a little bit like that too. Like it's just like a straight up, there's like like 1 or 2 songs that are a little different, but it feels like a straight up like, hey, rock band, this is fun. And it seems like both the bands are having a good time. And I'm glad we have more starting line music because I miss them.
Me too. It's weird, but both of the records I'm really enjoying. If you made me, like, I think this will make sense to you. I know that I'm going to love both of them.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
I think it would be wrong to say I love them right now, but I will love them. I'm the starting line one I've listened to nonstop. I obviously stopped the Motion City for the starting line release, but
as you do, you gotta like hit pause on that one.
Yeah. Well, we got Yellow Card in a week, so it's like we're getting inundated in the best sort of way with the bands of our youth.
It's like 40-year-old guy, white guy, fall. This nostalgic fall.
Well, I don't know if you guys talked about it or not since I wasn't on, but did you see, I think last week it was like either the 20 or the 25 year for both Good Charlotte's debut and Newfound Glory's debut, the same day. And so it's like, what the heck I am not complaining. I'm excited, but it's kind of weird.
Well, obviously 2005 was a big year for a lot of this music.
It was
a very good year for the genre. And so it's natural we're going to have, it is kind of interesting that they've all been stacked at this time of year though. Like we really are pretty stacked with Acceptance, Cartel, Starting Line new record, Motion City new record, Yellow Card new record. It feels like a lot, which I don't mind. I mean, part of me wants to spread it out a little bit because inevitably what happens to me is I will gravitate towards one of these albums and accidentally put something on the sidelines. What I like now, though, is that it's weird. I put off listening to both the Motion City soundtrack and this album because I really wanted to listen to them like front to end and not like distracted by other things. Like when you're in the car and you turn it off and then you go into the place you're going and you come back out. I wanted to like really like listen to the whole thing. And that's just hard to do with work and things like that. But I do find myself continually spinning this Starting Line one, even though it's been less than a week now. I find like most of the time when I'm here working at my desk, I'm like, what am I going to listen to? It's conveniently right there at the top of my albums on Spotify, recently added, and I'm just like, yep, that seems like a good one. Yeah, a lot of new albums right now that have come out, and I've really enjoyed, including outside of this genre too, which we're not going to bore our audience with, but
it seems like this new Starting Line record is going to be a lot of fun live.
I would love to go see them live again. It's been since the last time I saw them was that show that I saw them with the Format. So that's how long, which we'll get to in a second. Man. Format, All American Rejects, and Gym Class Heroes. What a freaking show! That's like one of the better. That's a solid 4-band show. Like there's not very many 4-band shows back in the day that were that heavy hitter.
And that diverse, yet still in the same genre.
Yeah.
As far as fans go, you know?
Yeah. This is right before the Format broke up, like a couple months before they broke up. I think it was like 2007, maybe. So again, like it was probably the last time. I think that was when Starting Line released their last album. I mean, I know they had an EP since then, but I'm pretty sure that's 2007, right? That one came out.
Well, yeah, and they've been doing the I don't remember if it's New Year's or Christmas, but they basically do like holiday shows every year, like a reunion. I caught one and it was awesome.
Yeah, I bet so.
But like, you were out of town.
I'm sure I was.
I don't remember what you were doing, but our buddy Blake Barons, he went with me down to Dallas, and it was awesome. And dude, it was awesome, and it was sad because I think there were like 200 people.
Yeah, that's a bummer. 2007 is when Directions came out. So yeah, it was probably that year that Directions came out, and that's the last time I've gotten to see them live. So I would like to see them again, especially because I think all these bands get better as they've gotten older. Most of them are not rustier. I think there's now vocally maybe some are, but Kenny sounds great. He's got a little more rasp, I feel like, than he even did when he was younger. And I like it. He's got what's funny is that even on, like I said, I don't feel like his voice is so unique that it's not like Adam Duritz from Counting Crows where you're just like, oh my gosh, that could be no one else, or Chris Carrabba or someone like that where you're like, it's just completely sticks out. You can hear it immediately. But like every time, like, I mean, something will just come on a playlist or something like that, especially, and it's just like, it's not just the voice, it's something about the way he sings and something about like everything together. I don't know. I like it though.
I agree with you, but I also think that some of that comes from like, I think there was a time where Kenny was the only person that sounded like him. And now we have bands that have, I mean, the main is the John Callahan. I'm probably butchering that, but like I think he's clearly influenced their first record. He sounds a lot like the Starting Line. Not the most recent, but the record before from Real Friends, that guy sounds so much like Kenny. So,
and see, I need to listen to that.
Oh yeah, you absolutely need to listen to that record.
Okay.
And I love it, and I can't even think of the name of it right now. It's got a bird on the front.
Well, it's got a bird. I'll look for the one
look for that one.
The bird. I feel like we should probably listen to one of these songs. So I picked. Well, I'll let you pick one in a second too, if you would like to. But
okay.
I picked. Let's see. What did I mention? I picked Enjoyment. I feel like it's one that I am sort of into right now. Let's play that. Here we go. Sorry, gonna do the thing.
A few moments later.
This is where we pretend that worked, but my audio is being weird and not working. So you'll just have to listen to the clip on your own. If you're listening on Spotify, it's conveniently right there at the bottom and like mentioned in this episode. If you're watching on YouTube or Apple, same thing. I'm gonna put the link down there anyway. That's a good one. Do you have any highlight songs that you're super into right now from the record?
I love that one. I really like Defeating the Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I like the singles. I didn't realize the singles had grown on me as much as they had.
They have a lot on me.
The album, like, oh yeah, these are great songs. So, but I have been kind of like what you were talking about. I've been trying my very best and just listening to the album over and over again, and I'm enjoying it. It's even though it's not exactly what I expected from them.
Yeah, I don't know that I knew what to expect. Like you said,
you're right.
I'm generally a little hesitant to get excited because I'm worried that after so much time, it might not be very good. That sounds weird. Like, because sometimes time can be a great thing. Sometimes that's what you need in the perspective of like, we're just going to do what we want. And then sometimes it just doesn't work out. You missed last week, but we talked, Chris and I sort of agree that Cartel's reimagining or redoing or whatever we want to call it of Chroma falls flat for us a little bit. It doesn't sound, I don't love it. Like it just.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I know that's like different. That's reimagining of an album that we already know, which is more like the Acceptance thing, which we should talk about because that's the other thing we should talk about. How do you feel about Acceptance's re-release of Phantoms with a lot of guest singers and whatnot?
So I think you and I touched on this before. I don't love all of the guests because I love the record so much. But what I love about it is that it is such a well-loved record that they pulled the people that they did to sing on it.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I will say my favorite one is probably the one that I anticipated, and it's Glory and Us.
Yep.
Very good. And also, I was really impressed. Is it This Conversation Over? Is that the one with Steven from Amberlin?
I think so.
Because I was kind of like, they're very similar. They're kind of similar bands. They share some members. And I was like, is this going to be a standout? But I think it is for me.
Yeah, I mean, they did enough different things. I like the guest thing. I think it's a good way to make a reimagining like this a little bit different. And
we don't feel ripped off when we order the vinyl, right? Like,
yeah, it feels like
it's different.
It's like it's not quite a tribute, but I like this better than the Cartel Chroma reimagining or re-recording because it feels more like a sound alike. And like I said, Chris and I talked about this last week, and like some of the stuff, I just don't like the new version of the sound that they did. I'm like, I think I like the guitars better on it. I think it's too auto-tuned on the new version. There's some things that are a little weird, but I like this Acceptance one generally. And it's made me like listen to them back to back, like, the new version, the original one, even like song to song and see what's kind of different. It's funny how much of that stuff is just ingrained in my memory as far as I expect things or something's new, not because I could have told you that it was, but I just know something is. I'm like, I know there's something about this part of the song. Well. Yeah, just subconsciously from listening to it a lot. But yeah, I mean, Cassidy Pope, she can sing.
Hey, yeah, and dude, Jason still sounds great.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Like his voice sounds great.
I think I really like. I just really like. It's pretty cool. So check that out. That came out a couple weeks ago, and then we had Starting Line that came out last week. Yellow Card comes out next week. Okay, 2 things that are fun. Chris is not here to brag about it with me, but we're gonna go see. We pulled the trigger and we got the My Chemical Romance Arizona date next Labor Day. It's like a year away. But Jimmy Eat World's opening in Arizona. So I'm like, that's kind of perfect. I'm really excited about it. I think that'll be really fun. Again, My Chemical Romance is someone I have not seen since. I don't think I saw them during Black Parade. I'm pretty sure I only saw them from the previous record, like
before. Same.
At the Green Door. Like I think that's the last time I saw My Chemical Romance was like with 400 people before they were just like huge. Ginormous.
Was that the show where all of us were like, because like I knew them, but it's like, is that the one where we're like, are they vampires? Is this a vampire band?
Well, I saw them twice. So I saw them at the Green Door when it was like up north, like on where 89th Street is now. Like, I saw them at that Green Door, I'm pretty sure, and then I saw them at when it moved. I'm pretty sure I saw it at both. So you saw them
post 3 Cheers.
I saw them during 3 Cheers, yes. Like probably,
that's awesome.
Probably post, but before Black Parade. Okay. I did not see them, but it was probably 3 Cheers before, like one of those shows was definitely before, like, I'm Not Okay was probably a single or something even.
Yeah. Side note, I instantly regretted passing on going.
I know. Yeah, we invited Kyle. Oh! I mean, it's like it's expensive, but I'm like, you got to do that kind of thing every once in a while with friends. Like travel, go see an amazing show.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Arizona, have to. I guess this is a little Arizona centric. Format are doing like 3 reunion shows, and one of them was at the Arizona State Fair, and they closed. I don't know if you saw the video. I was going to do a video, but like I can't find one that has good audio, and that annoys me to put bad audio on this.
Yeah.
So check it out if you want to go look at a bad, cell phone version of this, but it was pretty cool. It basically format for the last song brings on Jim Adkins, who's rocking shorts, by the way. I just love how much of a dad he is. Just love it. On stage, acoustic guitar. And so that's enough powerhouse right then. But then they cover Gin Blossom's Hey Jealousy. So it's like an Arizona trifecta of awesomeness. And so, and if you are a fan of the format, they're playing Jimmy Fallon on Monday, which I'm sure tons of people will tune into because Taylor Swift is the other guest on the show.
Is it Fallon or Kimmel?
Fallon. Did I say Kimmel?
No, you said Fallon.
Fallon.
So
it's Fallon.
I wasn't sure.
Look, you got the Jimmys are hard to keep straight. But yeah, Fallon. So I think what I'm excited about with that is, again, Taylor Swift gets brought up on our podcast a lot more for people that honestly, I don't listen to that much Taylor Swift, honestly. And I do not even have daughters that listen to that much Taylor Swift. But again, the Taylor Swift and emo is aligning.
The connection is there.
And so I'm sure a ton of people will be watching Fallon on Monday, and then they will get the treat of seeing the format. And probably most of them have never, ever heard of the format. They've heard of Fun.
And the format's numbers are going to skyrocket. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we should look at the play counts on Spotify and Apple Music, like today versus Monday and Tuesday. Okay, if you predict, what do you think they're going to play?
Oh no. We've done both Dog Problems.
We've done them both, yeah. Interventions and Lullabies.
I feel like they have to do the first single.
It's kind of what I feel like too.
That's what I think we're gonna see. But who knows? I would love to see them do something from Dog Problems.
I would too. I mean, like I said, I'll take just the format playing music.
I'll take whatever they give us.
With it. Also, I really like Nate's talk about someone with a unique voice, and we really haven't heard much from him for a while. He's just chilling, and I don't know. I haven't heard anything about if they're just doing this or if they're going to do an album or anything like that. But I would love to hear more format stuff. I really very much enjoyed it, and yeah, I think the first single is the obvious choice. It's such a fun song, but I would also love to hear Tie the Rope because it's one of my favorite songs of theirs.
Oh, that would be great.
Not very likely, but and to actually hear the song Dog Problems would be amazing. I would love that.
Time Bomb would also be a fun upbeat choice.
Time Bombs they've got a lot of good ones. Dog Problems, I just love the epicness of it. And like, you've got the roots there, you've got horns that you could I'm just saying, you could do some cool stuff. Yeah. You could do some Dog Problems stuff with the roots if you wanted to. Like, take advantage if you're playing Jimmy Fallon and you've got the roots there. Take advantage before late night TV does not exist. It's like the last late night TV band, and it will literally not exist within a few years at all. Like, that format will just disappear. So I hope that the format get like a crap ton of streams next week after Taylor Swift again introduces like vicariously a bunch of people to be at the starting line or Jimmy Eat World or the format or whoever. It's just it's an interesting thing how that keeps intertwining. We're gonna the emo people are gonna have to build some sort of statue outside of the emo arena of sorts or the emo Hall of Fame or something of Taylor Swift. But she did like all these bands. I mean, and she's pretty open about that. So that I think is it. Do you have anything else you need to bring up? Any new bands that you listened to this week other than the old bands that we already talked about?
I'm sure I listened to something new, but I've really been listening to the starting line in Motion City a lot. So I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Those are mine too. Okay, well, that is it for us. We'll get back to, we missed our deadline of getting a new full-length episode out this week, but again, we just got busy. We're trying to do that soon though, and everyone pay attention to the format next week. It should be fun. I'm excited about it. That's it for us. We will catch you next time.